Hello, my name is Michael Garrick, and this is PoppinCulture. My guest today is comedian, actor, and musician Skip G Lawson.
What's up out there? Y'all know who it is. The mayor with the M, the mayor. Appreciate you having me up here, man.
No problem, bro. Thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. You have done so many things, and you've been doing stand-up forever. Usually we talk about pop culture, but today I just want to interview you.
Okay, cool.
So a lot of people like to whenever I have comedians on, a lot of people like to focus on bombing, but I'm more focused on succeeding.
Mm-hmm.
So when was the first time you killed, and how did it feel?
Wow.
Just bring it a little bit closer.
I know one thing. I can't remember what particular year and everything it was, but my first time I ever really smashed the crowd, that kind of high, it stayed with me for like that whole weekend. You know, everywhere I went, I just want to crack jokes. Some people like let it go, and I was just so hyped about it that it rolled me for like 2 days. You know what I mean? And I remember that now because I think it was like a Thursday night show. And I think I stayed happy all the way till Sunday. It didn't wear off to Sunday, you know what I mean?
Nice.
Right.
So how long you been doing stand-up?
Well, November 22nd will be actually 22 years for me.
Congratulations, man. Wow. Oh, nice.
22.
Nice. Wow. Nice. What got you into stand-up?
Basically, it was, well, I always been the class clown.
Okay.
I always had it, and no matter where I went, even when I did time, I was always the funny guy. I never really took it serious till we was at Mr. B's, and then it was like, okay, you in the room, and it's like 40 rappers. Do you still want to be a rapper? You see everybody else doing it. Do you want to try something else? You know what I mean? And then it was actually a bad breakup that made me pursue the comedy thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Man. Okay. I didn't know that. Okay, that's Well, I bet she wish she stuck around now. So. Man. So, how long? I know you still rap now, but you were a rapper first.
Well, actually, my sister was the rapper.
Okay.
I was the beatbox.
Okay.
But back then, what we used to do was this: we'd listen to a song on the radio. This was like early '80s. We'd listen to a song on the radio, and what we'd do, we'd take the whole song and we'd rewrite the whole lyrics to it, you know, and put our own flow to it. And she'd rap the lyrics, and I hit the beatbox.
Okay.
So when we went like in New York, if you rapped or you did it, somebody always want to battle you. So no matter what, they'll come get us out the house. Yeah, come on. So we used to battle like a lot of people that way. So that's where the music background really came from.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said, guys, make sure you follow him. Skip G Lawson is Columbia Comedy. You've been with the Comedy House how long now?
If you count the Berry Hill Road, I mean, it's well over double digits. I'm talking, it's got to be like at least 14 to 15 years altogether because I done been in this building here actually, 12 and a half, going on 13.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So from being an open micer to being a headliner, which step did you appreciate the most?
I would say more like being the open micer. It wasn't no benefits in it, but I really appreciate everything that it took me through, and that only sets you up more to become the feature. And then once you become the feature, you just well around yourself, and now you could become the headliner. So the discipline is always the best in it, though.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I know 22 years is a long career, but do you remember your first person you hosted for and the first person you featured for?
Yep. Actually, the first person I ever opened for was a guy named Al Toomer. He's a comedian, Al Toomer, and how I got that, the NCO Club had just opened up on Fort Jackson, and at that time, Timmy Tim was the Comedy House MC. So being that he had to go over there and host over there that Wednesday night, I got the phone call, and they, can you be here 15 minutes? I was in Baseburg. That's 40-something minutes away.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
And I was at the Comedy House within 20 minutes, you know, on Berry Hill Road, and I've been hosting and everything else ever since.
Nice. So, who was the first person you featured for?
I would think my first feature, I would say Big Mo Dixon.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, it was Big Mo Dixon.
Nice. Nice.
hmm
So, pass on to that. The first night you headlined, getting that phone, was it like you got a phone call? Like, okay, we were ready for you to headline, or it was something that you were like, I'm ready for?
Well, actually, it was a on the spot thing. It was a surprise birthday present
Okay.
from the Wiggums who used to own the club. It was my birthday, and they was like, okay, they didn't even tell me until like the week of. They were like, hey, Skip, we're gonna let you headline. You know what I mean? And so I got to pick my own team, and we took it from there. And then once they saw that I could handle the 45 to an hour was no problem, then they made up the group, the Carolina Kings of Comedy,
Okay.
which is me, Mo, Steve, and Tim, and all of us do 45 minutes on each show.
Nice.
hmm
Okay. And R.I.P. Steve Wanamaker.
Right, brother.
Um, for aspiring comedians, I've always been told, work hard and just get to that 45.
hmm
But before you get to that 45, what would you say is another helpful step?
Well, one thing about it, no matter what your position is, if you're a feature host or a headliner, just because your cutoff time is at 15 minutes, always prepare yourself to have 20. Always have that extra 5 in your bag no matter what. Sometimes you might have to stretch it out for the club, or you might have somewhere the servers and everything else is behind. So you got to always be prepared to go that extra mile with it. You know what I mean?
Nice. Nice. But to just bounce back to your music just a little bit, you have 3 albums?
Actually, 2. Those are 2 mixtapes.
Okay, 2 mixtapes.
Working, they forcing beats on me now. It's like kind of like they forcing beats on me. Like I got like 12 beats, and they want me to. People want me to actually make a real album. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm not enthused right now because comedy lovely. See, I have to get bored with one in order to work on the other one.
Nice.
hmm
I don't mean to dig deep into your family,
Well, go
but
ahead.
for people that don't know, like he's a great father. Well, how was it balancing being a father and being a comedian?
Well, when it come down to it, it was kind of rough because I have 2 girls, and I had one like we really didn't have her childhood thing growing up. It was always by phone and everything. And for as my oldest little girl, it was more easier because she's into music and
Nice.
everything. She's into
Okay.
music and everything, so it was like easier working with her like that. But thank God everything is good now, and all 3 of us on the same page. And yeah,
Nice. Nice. Um, how many times have you toured?
once.
Okay.
Once, other than that, first going out state to state major, I only did that once. But far as South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, I do that often.
Nice.
That's nothing. I do
Nice.
that often.
Do you have any horrible hotel stories?
Nah, not really. Not really. Besides one time, this little white boy, he almost drowned me. That's about it. You know what I mean? He just jumping off into the pool, and he did it one time, and the water just like shot up in my nose. You know what I mean? And I can't swim.
Okay.
So he scared the hell out of me. I picked him up and threw his ass all the way into 12 feet. He jumps out the pool, run around, and he dive over me again. He thought I was playing with him, But other than that, I never had no problems in the hotels.
Nice.
Right.
Nice. So when it comes to comedy in general, when you were early on, did you have anybody you looked up to?
Yeah. Like that's how it all came forth. Because back then we were kids, but my mama had 3 albums. She had a Dolomite album, she had a Red Fox album, and she had a Millie Jackson album. So, she at work, we'd sneak in there and put them on and listen to them, and then we'd go back to school and try to repeat the jokes and all of that. So I didn't really get on Pryor and Eddie Murphy and all of them till later on.
Okay.
But those 3 albums really was the influence on the comedy.
All right. Well, guys, definitely check those 3 artists out. I've heard the first 2. I got to check out Millie Jackson. I haven't heard of her before.
Yeah, just don't turn it up.
Okay.
The woman has a nasty mouth. I mean, don't turn it up.
Worse than Dolomite?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because back then it was like almost considered a sin for a woman to talk like that.
Okay.
To have a filthy mouth. It's okay now with the little Kims and the Meg Thee Stallion, but, back then a woman, they didn't appreciate her talking like that. Like Josephine Baker, they didn't appreciate her naked, and they didn't like her when she put the clothes on. So they didn't know what they wanted from her. You know what I mean?
Just confused.
Yeah, just confused.
Yes. You're from New York.
Not originally. I was born in Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
I was raised in New York, Southside, Jamaica, Queens. But my family roots is Batesburg, Leesville, South Carolina.
How would you explain comedy? How it's different up north and how is it different down south?
Well, up north, the crowd is more aggressive. They on some, you come out on here right now and tell a joke. Don't set nothing up like this. Like, soon as you walk out, hey, y'all, boo, boo, boo. You know what I mean? It's rough. Now, down here, you got a chance to lay them back a little bit before you kick it to them. You know what I mean? You can smooth them out before you jump right into it.
Nice. You have a great fan base. Like, when you headline, you bring out great crowds. How long did it take for you to get that fan base?
Well, that same thing, it kind of came with the popularity. And the way I built my popularity up is the same way I be telling like you and Nestor and everybody else is always try your best to be on the scenes. If you can make it where you can make it to a comedy show because you ain't got nothing else to do, be on the scenes. That way you might see somebody say, well, I was at the Special K show and I remember you, you know what I mean? So basically you just stay in their face.
Okay.
You stay in their face, you pretty much get on their nerve. To your name is branded into them, and once they hear your name, Skip G Lawson, oh yeah, I'm going to see him. I know who he is.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
If we would do like percentages, how important do you think it is to be interesting? How important do you think it is to be funny? Do you think it's a 50-50 split, or do you put more into one than the other?
Well, one thing about it now is, in a game we in, this may sound funny, but you can be too funny. I know y'all probably never heard of that.
Oh, yeah,
you can be too funny.
It's not you.
Right.
And you've never said this before, but I definitely heard of headliners telling their features like, hey,
right,
stop,
I have been kicked off plenty of shows. Plenty. You know what I mean? I ain't afraid to say it. Like, I had Cheryl Underwood here, and she brings in a feature. They tell me, Skip, tone it down. So then I toned it down, and he still couldn't follow me. You know what I mean? So I was like, if he ain't funnier than I am, then you paying him too much money. And that was, well, we don't need you. We'll just run a 2-man show. Then go ahead, because I'm not going to make myself look bad in order to make you look good. It ain't going to work like that.
That's scary. That's wow, because that's her pick. She, they pick their features unless they don't have a feature to come. But if they bring a feature with them, that means,
Right. See, but the percentage, like you asked, I will encourage everybody to be 100%. You know what I mean? Be 100% and be interested in it, no matter what. Bumps, bruises. Sometimes they ain't gonna have your money. Sometimes they gonna kick you out of shows. But don't let that discourage you from coming back and trying again. But far as being funny, I think that's the main thing, but it's pretty much like something like not up front. It's not a point that you got to have. Well, you got to have it, but I focus on being more interested and dedicated to the craft. And the jokes and everything, it'll grow itself.
Nice. Thank you for dropping them gems, man. Thank you so much. For new comedians or any comedian, and the people that aren't comedians, for for people that aren't comedians, how would you explain performing at a bar compared to performing at a club?
Oh, it's different because, see, when you perform at a bar or a nightclub or whatever, those are considered rooms. That's where we could open the door at 8 o'clock and 90 of us get up on stage and do 5 minutes. It's a room. Now, for as like the comedy house, it's not like that. It's a corporate event. It's a well-connected unit. They're connected from North Carolina to New York. We we got the Stardome in our pocket. We got the Uptown in Atlanta. We have the Comedy Zone in Charlotte. We have the one in Greenville. So all the clubs, all the comedy clubs on the Southeast is well connected.
Exactly.
Of course, even up north. Now, versus a bar.
Yeah.
So versus a bar is automatically, if you open the doors, your regulars gonna come to drink. So you throwing them comedy is a little extra bonus, you know what I mean? So
when you used to do bar gigs, well, I don't know. Sometimes I guess you still do them. Sometimes.
Yeah, if they pay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Everybody got to laugh, man. Yeah, I do a bar in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? All y'all bars out there, book me now.
Please book Skip. He's hilarious, guys.
I still come to the bars.
When do you know you have them in a bar? For me, is if I can get them to stop playing pool. Like usually they'll have the TV turned down, but I never had anybody turn the TV off. But if I can get people to stop playing pool, then I know I got them.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, well, cause you got to realize one thing about it. You got to look at the type of people you dealing with. That they actually come to shoot pool, or they came to the comedy show, and that's the mixed up thing that they put the MC through. You know what I mean? Like, you want everybody to be quiet and listen to you, but in the bar, you hoping that they do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just try to get that attention, hope that you keep it. Bars make you appreciate clubs a lot more. And I'm not dissing bar gigs because I do a great bit of them. I appreciate them. But once you do a bar and then you do a club, you're like, oh, these guys know to be quiet.
Right. See, because we don't, right here at the club, you heckle somebody too many times, we gonna ask you to be quiet, or the second time we gonna escort you out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just that, because what hecklers, if I can say this real quick, what hecklers don't realize when you come to a show and you yell out stuff at the comedian, you going back and forth with the comedian, you might think you funny or whatever, but what you really doing, you're ruining the show for everybody else that's in the audience. Like I tell them in a minute, if you so funny, why you ain't on the flyer? And they swear they helping us out when they throw jokes out at us. We just want to really do our routine and keep going. You stop me in order for me to talk to you. Yeah, when I was talking to everybody. So yeah, that's pretty much how it rolls.
Do you let hecklers slide, or do you usually like take it to them?
It all depends. Like, I'll pretty much ask them to go ahead, and if I see them still want to heckle, I'll try to talk over them. And if those two things don't work, keep in mind you disappointing my audience. So they gonna laugh either with you or about you, one way or another. I'm not gonna disappoint my crowd because of you. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to go in on him even after I've asked him twice. Chill.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And married life, how long have you been married now?
Ooh, boy,
that long.
You call them numbers out. You got to get them right. I tell you, like, let's divide it. I think, well, I can't say I think, because she see this, I'm in trouble. I'm gonna say, okay, I've been married about 10 years.
Congratulations,
and we've been together like 14 altogether.
Congratulations.
So it's been a long time. Like, that's my backbone. Before I got with her, I was all over the place. I do a show tonight, make about $200-300, go down the street and blow it.
Okay.
No structure, no nothing. So when I got with her, she kind of really helped me settle it down and map it out and get your proper paperwork done and contracts. So people who ain't got your money, they ain't got no excuse no more. You know what I mean? So True. She kind of really grounded me and pulled me out the streets, though, for real.
Nice. I know she's always at the shows, man. She's a great support system. Like,
oh yeah,
when you see you see her. So that's one thing I give her
best friend
for.
Yeah, best friend, man. Wasn't traded in for nothing, man.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you weren't a comedian, what would you be doing right now?
Funny, everybody always say that, but what I really always wanted to do, I always wanted to work in radio.
Nice.
To this day, I still do want to, just to skip from the love, light, and flight and take your request. I still always wanted to work in radio. It's always been one big dream of mine, and it happened because I went to a radio station back when my mom's was in this gospel singing group.
Okay.
And I just saw how they was live on air and everything, and how the guy was just working the buttons and everything, and it always, something about that just drove me. I always wanted to be in radio.
Nice. Well, man, I know you have the show with I forgot his name just that fast. The guy does security. Skip to my loom. That show. The podcast.
Skip to my groove.
Skip to my groove, guys. Make sure you check out that show. It's great. Great show.
Matter of fact, season 2 coming back. You need to come be on our show. Let us interview you. You know what I mean? Y'all look for that. Matter of fact, we gonna set that up quick, man. Yeah, you need to come on over to the groove.
Definitely. Man.
The groove is a little thing we put together to basically help out the local entertainers. I wouldn't say rappers, because you got singers, you got every, all type of genres on there. And also, if you got your own business, like he got his own podcast, if you got your own business or whatever, come by the groove. We do the interview and we put it out there for you. We help you get it out there.
Yeah. One thing I give you, Skip, I give you credit for a lot of stuff. The one thing I know is you stay tapped in. Like no one ever can be like, man, Skip don't know what's going on in the comedy scene or blah blah blah. You stay tapped in, which is great, man. Which we really appreciate. You being an older comedian, been doing it for 22 years. Do you feel like you want to jump into social media, or you feel like it's just something you not want to get into?
I want to get into social media. I really do, but at the same time, what I want everybody to understand the difference is. Social media, let me say it, there's no knock on it, but it's cyber. It's cyber. You see people arguing and everything else is cyber. And one thing about being in the business side of the whole thing is like people so hooked on followers. It's one key word. They hooked on who got 100,000 followers. Okay, but as a booking promoter, if your 100,000 people don't come buy a ticket to see you at the show, then they pointless. You got 100,000 people that follow you. I mean, but the real deal is when I book you, will they come and buy the tickets?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm slowly learning that now. You can see 10 million followers, and then they can.
Because we book a lot of people, and we see them on TikTok, Instagram, everywhere else, But then when you put them on the stage, you be like, hey, where's your people? Where's your people at? Where's your people? So that's the business side of the following, though.
Yes. When it comes to headlining, of course you gotta be funny, you gotta have material, but putting butts in chairs
is one of the main factors.
Okay.
Okay. It's one of the main factors, and you got to be able to entertain them.
Yeah.
You have to be able to entertain them. Like you brought up to me one time, you was like, you know what, I seen you do 2 different shows in the same night.
Yeah, you did 2 different shows and 2 different sets. And
that's because up here, it's like, I want to tell this joke, or did I already tell it?
Yeah.
So to be on the safe side, just go with a whole nother direction of.
And when I say 2 different sets, guys, I don't mean like he told the same jokes in a different order. It was like all different jokes, and I was just like, man, that was wild. I was super impressed because
but you gotta realize, I got 7 different DVDs to pick from.
I was just about to ask about that.
Right, I got 7 different DVDs to pull material from.
Yes. I'm not gonna ask you to name all of them, but. Which one if you do?
I have What My Name Is, my first one, and then I have Why, which is my second one. Then I had I'm Just Playing, No I'm Not, which is my third one.
Yep.
And then I had Drama Carries 2 Faces, which is the Poet DVD. And then then I had Go ahead on with that. That was my last one. You know what I mean? So yeah, and then I had the 2 mixtapes. You know what I mean? Then you got the movies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which guys, make sure you check out the movies. Dust House does great work. Do you have a favorite special you've done? And does any of the names like mean anything personal to you?
Karma 2 was my. I wouldn't say it was my best, but it was my favorite because it was my first.
Okay.
So that was my first ever
movie. Yep.
Being in the movie. So I cherish that like it was anything. But then Who's Hiring, which is coming out Thursday, which is some of my greatest work that they put me in. I really like the way they set it up, the graphics and everything else to go with it.
Nice. I can't wait to see it. I really can't wait to see it.
Right.
But special wise, your specials. Do you have a favorite special if you put out?
My favorite one, I think it would be I'm Just Playing, No I'm Not.
Okay.
Because actually, that's a 45-minute set, and I wrote that on the way to Virginia one day. I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and I wrote that whole show all the way up the road. Mm-hmm.
So Virginia from South Carolina is
about 7.5, 8 hours.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's for people that aren't comedians. To write 45 minutes in 7 hours. Most specials take 2 years to get nice and set the way people want. That's right. Incredible. Mm-hmm. Well, man, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. Anything you'd like to say to your fans?
Definitely. Hey, y'all keep supporting me, and y'all know I'm going to keep supporting y'all. And definitely, y'all support my boy Mike Garrick with this podcast. You know what I mean? What he doing is something positive. He's going around, and he's getting all the... I hate using the word local because they don't give you nothing when you say local. So, he's hooking up all the indie artists, rappers, comedians, or whatever, man. Y'all support his podcast. You know what I mean? That's what I want them to do for me. Definitely support this.
Thank you so much. And please let them know where they can follow you on social media.
Oh, everything is Skip G Lawson. Skip G Lawson, not comedian. Don't put it. It's just Skip G Lawson. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I was on Twitter, but that's that young kid language. I don't understand none of that right there. You know what I mean? So, hey, you can follow me on TikTok. Everything is just Skip G Lawson.
Nice, man. Thank you so much for coming on to the show.
No doubt.
Thank you guys for listening. Have an amazing day.